나처럼 groovy하게 나처럼 groovy하게.
Hello, welcome to another monthly-ish review video. Today's video is going to be extra long since I realized there were more comebacks from the past 2 months that I wanted to talk about than I had originally anticipated, so grab a snack, get something to drink, and let's get started. But before we do, I'm of course going to give my standard disclaimer. The statements expressed here are just my opinion, and just because I didn't like something doesn't mean it's a bad song, it's just not suited for my personal taste. I'm not trying to personally attack anyone, but rather offer my own constructive criticism, and you are free to disagree with me, but please do so respectfully. Also, I can't fit every single artist in a video like this, but if there are any comebacks that I didn't mention which you want to hear my opinion on, feel free to ask me about it down below. One final note, if you're curious about my first impressions on K-pop releases or want to hear more about my opinions on songs and albums that I don't mention here, you can check out my Instagram page. I'm trying to get better about posting about songs that I like at least once a week, so if that's something you're interested in, feel free to follow me if you want. Anyways, let's dive in. I'm not gonna lie, I almost forgot Twice had a comeback. I feel like people have very mixed opinions about More and More. Personally, I liked the song, but I felt like it was a bit lackluster compared to their previous releases. The chorus was probably the weakest point of the song. What makes a lot of Twice's songs so memorable is their simple yet catchy sung choruses, but this time they just went with the drop, which made the chorus feel empty. I felt like this would have been better off as a B-side for this reason. The chorus just didn't have a sort of wow factor. I also didn't like the fact that they released so many teasers before the song was actually released, to the point where they basically spoiled the whole thing before it was released. I enjoyed the choreography, but I felt like if they wanted the dance to be a trend, it was just way too complicated for the average person to follow. I did like the mini-album though. My favorite song from it was Oxygen, but I also really liked Firework and Shadow. Overall, this was by no means a bad comeback, but it was just a bit lackluster compared to their previous releases. I was very thrown off by the title track at first, since it wasn't what I was expecting from the teasers, but I did end up liking it. It's nothing special in terms of production, but it's catchy, and I appreciate the fact that they actually sing in the chorus. The music video was a bit of a mess though. I absolutely loved all the shots of them in the actual sets, plus the makeup and costuming is gorgeous, but I don't like the shots of them with CGI. I don't know whether it's because of the movement and angles of the camera or because of the editing in post, but it just looks a bit tacky to me. Obviously, I'm not expecting to believe them dancing in the clouds is real, but it just looks a bit unnatural, and there are definitely better examples of K-pop music videos that use CGI and make it seem a bit more realistic. The mini-album was cute, but again, it's not something I really go out of my way to listen to. The one thing I will say though is that their live stages were all great, and I really like the ones where they used the intro from their album. IZ*ONE's strength, in my opinion, lies more in their performances than in their vocal abilities. It's impressive to see the choreographies they pull off with so many members. I guess to summarize, this comeback was just okay to me. It didn't impress me, but I didn't hate it. Nothing they've released has come close to topping their debut, in my opinion, though. I felt like this was a good comeback, but the title track just wasn't really my taste in music. I think the song was well produced, but I just don't like the style they went with. There were certain parts of it I really liked. I'm absolutely obsessed with the pre-chorus for the song, and of course, I'm a sucker for all of Felix's parts in that deep voice of his. The chorus felt a little overwhelming. I feel like it would be good to hype people up in a concert because I had the same opinion about Miro until I saw them perform it live. While I loved the music video, I liked watching the live stages for the song more. I think it's because I didn't like the auto-tune in the studio version of the song. The stylist popped off for this comeback, especially for Chan and Hyunjin, and their stage presence is fantastic as always. Now for the album, I felt like it didn't really live up to their past releases. It felt more like a collection of random songs than a cohesive body of work, and it didn't really have much of a theme like their previous mini-album series did. There were only 2 B-sides I really loved from first listen, Phobia and Haven. I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed with this comeback since Stray Kids releases so much music that I wasn't really anticipating this comeback, but it isn't outstanding compared to anything that they've done in the past. The song is a bop, and I'm sorry for sleeping on Weki Meki. I wish they would have released Oopsie earlier in the year and then had Dazzle Dazzle as the title track for this mini album. While Oopsie is a fun song, I think Dazzle Dazzle felt more fitting for a summer comeback. It's brighter and more energetic, and I felt like it would stand out more in this season. My only complaint for this was that I felt like the music video looked really empty. In my last video, I talked about how I didn't think Knock was as good as Astro's other music videos, but I honestly can't complain about Astro when it looks like Weki Meki gets their leftover sets. I love both groups, but why is there such a clear difference between the budgets for their videos? I really enjoyed the mini album though. My personal favorite B-sides are Moya Moya and The Paradise. For some reason, this happens to me with every 17 album, and I don't know why. I can never appreciate their songs right when they come out, but like a month later, it will pop up in my head, and then I'll be obsessed with it. At first, I thought Left and Right was a good song, but I just didn't really feel like it lived up to their other songs. But after a while, I started listening to it again, and I'm now obsessed with it. The same thing happened to me with their album as a whole. I've been listening to it a lot lately, and I love almost all the B-sides on it. If I had to choose favorite, I'd probably say Kidult and My My. The live stages were fun as always. I know I can always count on the kings of synchronization to deliver amazing performances. This was definitely my favorite comeback of June, even if it did take a bit of time to grow on me. Most debut songs this year have been forgettable at best and disappointing at worst in my opinion. But wow, this song is a definite exception. This is such a fun song, and I love the teen crush concept that they went for this release. I can tell a lot of groups are going to follow suit after seeing them and after seeing ITZY. Chanting in songs can be really irritating, but here it works well to build the energy of the song. I also love the instrumental track. There's so many elements going on to it that give the song an extra bit of spunk, especially with the flute and the guitar. There are parts that almost have a magical feel to it, like with the rap section and the bridge of the song. Its sound is reminiscent of older K-pop songs, but the concept and energy they bring makes it feel modern and inventive. I also really enjoyed seeing all the live stages for the song. The choreography does a great job of matching the spirit of it, and the whole schoolgirl theme and outfits are, again, very fitting for a song that feels youthful and lively. Weeekly is hands down the best rookie group of this year so far, and I'm excited to see how they follow this debut up. This was a refreshing listen for a summer song. The city pop influences makes it feel more relaxed than most summer releases, and listening to it invokes almost a sort of ethereal feel. It's not a standout compared to Sunmi's other songs, which generally cover heavier themes and feature bolder imagery, but not every song has to be groundbreaking to be good. I love the purple aesthetics throughout the music video, and even incorporated in the live stages, plus her styling is absolutely gorgeous. Even though this has a softer feeling to it, I still feel like there's this sense of mystery and enchantment behind it, which is very fitting for Sunmi's brand. I never was a fan of any of the groups that Woodz was part of, so I didn't really have any expectations going into this comeback, but I was definitely blown away by this. There aren't many male soloists who I like, unless if I'm a fan of their groups, just because I either find their music doesn't suit my taste, or they just seem kind of boring to watch on stage, so I'm really happy to find an exception. I love the song, it's so addictive, especially with that whistling throughout the chorus. But what really stood out to me about this comeback was his stage presence. I honestly don't go out of my way that much to see stages unless if I really love an artist, but every live stage I've seen of his has left me wanting more. Not only is he a good dancer from a technical standpoint, but he also knows how to convey the fierce expressions the song demands for while still looking like he's having a good time. The thing that impressed me the most about his performances, though, was that you could clearly hear him singing live. Most of times on music shows, artists will either 1. Be lip-syncing to a studio version of the track, 2. Be lip-syncing to a pre-recorded track for the show, or 3. Will sing live, but the backing track will be so loud or their vocals won't be powerful enough to actually hear them clearly. But with Woodz, not only is he clearly singing live, but he's also good at singing live. His voice is incredibly stable. He's definitely an all-rounder, and I can picture him being huge in the future as a soloist. One of the reasons why I love SF9 so much is because I never know what sound to expect from them. And even though I had listened to all the teasers before, the arrangement of the song was different from what I thought it would be. Summer Breeze is a great follow-up to Good Guy. It combines elements of their previous title tracks, yet sounds like nothing they've released before. I feel like the whole Western theme is becoming kind of a trend in K-pop, and I actually really enjoy seeing this blend of different genres. The music video is amazing. Right now it's tied for my favorite SF9 video with RPM. I especially love the way that they filmed the parts from the second pre-chorus up until the chorus. It looks like something straight out of a movie. I also really enjoyed seeing all the references they included to their previous music videos. They're definitely taking more of an effort to build a universe and connect their storylines, and I'm excited to see what they do next. I like the mini album, but honestly, it's not my favorite compared to some of their previous releases. I've reevaluated my favorite B-sides. I really enjoyed Into the Night and My Story, My Song, which I wasn't expecting since I usually gravitate more towards their upbeat, high-energy songs. As for the promotional period, I don't think it was as memorable as their last one. There were unfortunately a lot of factors working against their favor for this period, but that wasn't really their fault. I still think that they did a great job promoting, but Good Guy was just more memorable as an era to me. This was my personal favorite comeback from July, though I may be a bit biased in saying so. All these pre-release singles have been making me feel so excited for Chungha's actual album, which I presume is coming sometime towards the end of the year. Play feels like a revamped version of her earliest title tracks. It incorporates the tropical house style, but the EDM in the chorus gives us a new feeling of energy. While I enjoyed Stay Tonight more as a song, since it felt more experimental and original, I still really love Play. I absolutely love the choreography for the song, and seeing her interactions with her dancers makes this even better. The styling is amazing as usual, and the music video is stunning. This is just the perfect release for the summer. I'm glad it's not the title track for her album just because it is a bit similar to her style from the past, but it definitely achieved its purpose as a pre-release single and makes me really excited to see what she'll do next. Personally, I'm thinking the title track will be darker than the other songs, more along the lines of Gotta Go, since that was the song that caused her to explode in popularity. I think Stay Tonight would have made a great title track and remains one of my favorite releases from this year so far, but I understand why they released it early as it was more experimental and the reception from the public was a bit mixed, so they probably wanted to test the waters with it. Let me know what kind of concept you think she'll do for the album down below. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit scared for this comeback since I didn't like their debut, but this comeback definitely changed my perception of EXO-SC. As an EXO-L, I feel bad if I find myself disliking what the members release because I of course want to support them, but at the same time, I'm not gonna force myself to listen to a song just because it's from EXO. What a Life just felt very bland and lacked substance in my opinion, and I felt like I didn't really understand what makes EXO-SC unique from it. However, 1 billion views turns this around. I love the retro influences of the song, and it does a great job of suiting their voices and their style. I've seen a fair number of people complaining about EXO's rap line lacking in skill, but I don't really think this is the case. The most important thing is that their voices complement EXO's style of music, and I feel like that aggressive style of rapping that many people gravitate towards wouldn't fit EXO's sound. This is another reason why I'm glad that they went with a more relaxed sound for this release. It fits their image and their strengths as vocalists and as rappers. I also like the colorful game imagery in the music video. It's fun and fitting for the types of music EXO-SC releases. EXO-CBX is still my favorite subunit since their sound is more fitting with my personal taste, but this definitely made me a lot more enthusiastic about EXO-SC's music. I'm not a fan of Somi, so I wasn't particularly anticipating this comeback, but I ended up liking it a lot more than I thought I would. I can see why fans might be disappointed with this. I was expecting her to at least release a mini album since it's been about a year since her solo debut. I agree with a lot of people saying that this has a very Western feel to it. It's something that I feel like would have played on the radio a couple years ago. Because of this, I saw people complaining that the song felt kind of dated, but a lot of the pop songs I listen to at this point are from a couple years ago, since I just don't love where pop music is at right now, so this was up my alley. It's nothing special as a song, but I feel like it fits Somi's image a lot more than Birthday did, and feels like a step in the right direction as a soloist. That being said, I wasn't really impressed with the stages. I felt like the choreography wasn't anything impressive, and she still hasn't quite developed the charisma needed to command attention as a soloist, but again, it's a step up from her debut when she straight up looked nervous performing. Let me just say that I'm so glad that they didn't release another song that sounds exactly like their previous title tracks. Crossroads wasn't a bad song, but it sounds so much like Time for the Moon Night and Rough that I just got bored listening to it. While I don't think Apple is one of my favorite GFRIEND songs, I appreciate the fact that they were able to branch out with something different while still staying true to their sound. Though I don't go out of my way to listen to the song often, I've watched quite a few of their live stages because I love everything about their stages. This might be my favorite styling era from this year. Girl group stylists have been killing it lately, and they look so regal in their gowns and skirts. The choreography is stunning as always, and I love girl groups doing creepy concepts, so I definitely enjoyed the music video. I am very curious to see where their narrative is headed and what concept they'll explore next, since this was much more overtly dark than their earlier videos. Overall, the song itself isn't my favorite, but this era is perhaps their most memorable yet. I know a lot of people preferred Thanks for the title track, and I feel like it would have won had it not been for the issues surrounding the music video. Though I actually like Inception better as a song, I felt like Thanks would have made a better title track, but I think the fans made the right call in voting for Inception because of the music video. I feel like Inception would have made a great B-side, but I don't think it quite impressed me as much as songs like Wonderland and Answer. I really love the chorus though. It's almost haunting, and I swear it reminds me of something I heard years ago, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Watching the live stages also made me more interested in listening to the song. They always do a phenomenal job at performing. I really like the dance break between the first chorus and the second verse in particular. I think this era has so far been a little forgettable by ATEEZ's standards, but it's still a good comeback. It's just that they've set the standards so high for themselves that this didn't quite match up to their previous releases, in my opinion. I have mixed feelings about this comeback. I actually do like Now or Never as a song, but compared to their prior releases, it just lacks a sort of wow factor for me. I think part of the reason I was slightly disappointed was because the first teasers they released had been for the B-side, and I was expecting that to be the title track. I felt like Paradise would have made a better title track and incorporates the sound that they've established during Oh My Mistake and La La Li La La, but still very much maintains that fun, summery feel to it. It's a song that I don't think many groups could have pulled off, and it could have been a great opportunity to show what makes April unique while still giving us a fun summer anthem. But I feel like their company played it safe with Now or Never, since I felt like it kind of follows in the footsteps of a lot of popular girl group summer songs. That being said, I still do really like the title track. It's catchy and high energy, and I enjoyed watching the live stages for it. I'm also glad to see that they are promoting Paradise alongside it. This was a fun comeback, but La La Li La La still stands as the song of the year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite comebacks from the summer have been so far, and what releases you're looking forward to the most in August.